Sometimes silence feels louder than words. And lately, I've been feeling that distance between us. Maybe it's the way you reply a little slower, or the way your eyes don't shine at me the same way they used to. My love, I feel like you are upset with me. And honestly, that thought stays in my heart longer than I can explain. Because when someone means everything to you, even their quietness can shake your soul. I'm not here to fight your feelings. I'm here to understand them. So tonight, I just want to speak from the deepest part of my heart, hoping my words can reach yours. Sometimes the deepest pain in love is not shouting, not fighting, not leaving. It's the quiet distance between two hearts that once felt inseparable. And lately, I've been feeling that silence standing between us like a wall neither of us knows how to climb. I notice it in the little things, the pauses in your voice, the way your smile fades a second too early, the way your eyes drift somewhere else, while I'm still looking at you, like you're the only place that ever felt like home. Maybe I'm overthinking, maybe I'm just afraid, but when you truly love someone, you begin to feel changes before they are spoken out loud. Love teaches you the language of silence, and your silence has been breaking me slowly. I keep replaying our moments in my head, wondering where the warmth changed into distance. I ask myself if I said something wrong, if I failed to see the hurt behind your eyes, if I became too lost in life and forgot to hold your heart carefully. Because the truth is, nobody teaches you how fragile love can become when two people stop speaking honestly about their pain. One day you're laughing together like the world can't touch you, and the next day you're standing inches apart, feeling like strangers trying to remember how they once felt so close. You know what hurts the most? It's not even the thought that you might be upset with me. It's the possibility that you've been carrying that pain alone, that while I was trying to survive my own battles, you were silently fighting emotions I should have noticed. And if that's true, then I'm sorry. Not the kind of sorry people say just to end an argument. I mean the kind of sorry that sits heavy in the chest at 3 in the morning when the world is asleep, and your heart finally admits what it cannot hide anymore. I miss the softness between us. I miss the way your voice used to calm every storm inside me. I miss the way you looked at me before doubt entered the room. Because when someone becomes your peace, even the smallest distance feels unbearable. People think love is always about grand gestures and perfect moments, but real love lives inside the unnoticed things. The way two people listen to each other after a hard day. The way they stay gentle even when life becomes cruel. The way they choose each other again and again even after misunderstandings, exhaustion, and fear. And maybe that's why this hurts so much, because I still choose you, even in this silence, even in this confusion, even while feeling your heart slowly slipping further away from mine. I still wake up wanting to hear your voice. I still imagine your face in ordinary moments. I still carry your presence into every part of my life without even realizing it. That's what love does. It becomes part of your breathing, part of your thinking, part of your loneliness. Sometimes I wonder if you know how deeply you are loved. Not admired, not desired, loved. There's a difference. Desire can disappear in a moment, admiration can fade with time, but real love stays. It stays during misunderstandings, it stays during long nights and unanswered questions. It stays when pride tells you to walk away but your soul refuses because losing that person feels like losing a piece of yourself. I know I'm not perfect. I know there are moments when I become distant too. Moments when life hardens me and I struggle to explain what's happening inside my own mind. But even in those moments, my heart has never stopped reaching for you. Maybe I don't always know the right words. Maybe I fail at showing emotions perfectly, but everything inside me still turns toward you in the end. There's something lonely about loving someone while feeling them slowly drift away. You start questioning every detail, every message, every silence, every expression. You begin wondering whether the person who once held your soul so gently is now tired of carrying it, and that fear, it changes you. It makes ordinary days feel heavy. It makes nights feel endless. Because no matter how strong someone looks on the outside, the fear of losing someone they love can quietly destroy them inside. But I don't want us to become strangers hiding pain behind silence. I don't want resentment to grow where love once lived so naturally. I want honesty, even if it hurts. I want the truth, even if it shakes me. Because relationships don't die from conflict. They die from emotional distance, from unspoken sadness, from pretending everything is fine while two hearts slowly stop reaching for each other. If you're angry, tell me. If you're hurt, let me see it. If something inside you changed, let me understand it. Don't lock me outside the walls of your heart without giving me a chance to knock on the door. Because I would rather face painful truth beside you than live inside beautiful lies without you. Life is strange. One moment everything feels permanent, and the next moment you realize how fragile human connection really is. People lose each other not always because love disappears, but because fear, pride, exhaustion, and silence slowly build oceans between them. And I don't want an ocean between us. I don't want to become another memory you carry quietly someday, while pretending it never mattered. I still remember the feeling of safety I found in you. the kind of safety that made the noise of the world disappear for a while. Being loved by you felt like finally putting down a weight I didn't know I was carrying. And maybe that's why this distance scares me so much now. Because once someone becomes your peace, the thought of losing them feels like returning to darkness after finally seeing light. I wish I could sit beside you right now without distractions, without pride, without fear, and just listen to everything your heart has been trying to say. Not interrupting, not defending myself, just listening. Because love should feel safe enough for honesty, safe enough for vulnerability, safe enough for tears, fears, disappointments, and truths people usually hide from the world. Maybe we both became tired in ways we never admitted. Maybe life pulled us into stress and responsibilities until we forgot how to protect what we built together. But I still believe there's something real between us, something worth saving, something deeper than temporary emotions and difficult moments. Real love isn't measured by how perfect things are when life is easy. It's measured by whether two people still reach for each other when things become difficult. And I'm still reaching for you. Every part of me still hopes your silence is not the end of us, but simply a moment we have to walk through carefully together. Because despite everything, despite the fears sitting inside me, despite the uncertainty, despite the sleepless nights wondering what changed, my heart still recognizes yours as home. Not a perfect home, not a painless home, but home in the only way love can truly mean. I don't fear your anger, my love. I fear the moment you stop telling me what hurts inside your soul, because anger still carries emotion. Anger still means there's something alive inside the heart fighting to be heard. But silence is different. Silence is where feelings go when they become too tired to explain themselves anymore. And lately, I've been terrified of that silence between us. You see, when two people truly love each other, they learn the sound of each other's emotions without words. I know when your smile is real and when it hides exhaustion. I know when your voice carries peace and when it carries disappointment you're trying not to show. And lately, I've felt something heavy inside you, something distant, something that keeps pulling you away while I stand here, trying to figure out how to reach you without breaking what's left between us. Maybe you think I don't notice. Maybe you think I'm too distracted by life to see the sadness in your eyes. But when someone becomes part of your soul, you notice everything. You notice the change in their energy before they even speak. You notice when they stop laughing the same way. You notice when their warmth slowly fades into politeness. And honestly, that change has been haunting me more than I can explain. I keep asking myself where the distance began. Was it one bad moment? One misunderstanding? Or was it 1,000 tiny disappointments that slowly collected inside your heart while I failed to notice them? Sometimes relationships don't fall apart because of one catastrophic event. Sometimes they break quietly, piece by piece, while two people continue pretending everything is okay because they're afraid of the truth waiting beneath the surface. And maybe that's what scares me most. The idea that you've been carrying pain silently while standing beside me. The idea that your heart has been screaming in places where your lips stayed quiet. I never wanted to become someone you couldn't talk to. I never wanted you to feel alone while being with me, because love should never feel lonely. I know I'm imperfect. I know there are moments when I become emotionally lost in my own mind. There are times when stress hardens me, when exhaustion makes me quieter, when life pulls me so deeply into survival that I forget how much attention love truly needs. But even in those moments, my feelings for you never disappeared. They never weakened. If anything, they became more frightening, because loving someone deeply means knowing they hold the power to hurt you without even trying. That's the strange thing about love. The closer someone gets to your soul, the more fragile you become in their hands. People think strength means not caring, not needing, not depending on anyone emotionally. But real strength is allowing yourself to love fully, despite knowing how much pain loss can create. And I loved you that way. Completely. Fearfully. Honestly. So when I feel distance from you now, it shakes something deep inside me. It makes ordinary moments feel heavy. Even simple conversations start feeling different, like there's an invisible wall standing between us. I replay our interactions over and over in my mind, searching for clues, wondering if I missed the exact moment your heart began pulling away from mine. And maybe you're angry with me for reasons I still don't fully understand. Maybe I failed you emotionally in ways I never intended. Maybe there were moments you needed softness from me, and instead received distraction. Maybe there were nights you wanted reassurance while I was too trapped inside my own thoughts to realize it. If that's true, then I carry regret for those moments more than you know, because when you truly love someone, hurting them unintentionally still hurts you deeply. You begin wishing you could rewind time just to notice the details you missed, just to hold them a little longer, just to answer with more patience, just to choose tenderness instead of silence during difficult moments. I think people underestimate how much unspoken emotions can damage a relationship. Sometimes it's not the arguments that destroy love, it's the emotional abandonment that slowly grows in the spaces where communication used to exist. It's when two people stop saying what they truly feel because they become afraid of conflict, afraid of vulnerability, afraid their honesty will change everything. But silence changes everything too. In fact, silence often changes things more brutally than truth ever could. At least when people argue, they are still reaching toward each other emotionally. At least they still care enough to react. But when someone stops expressing pain completely, that's when love begins standing at the edge of something dangerous. That's when emotional exhaustion quietly replaces connection. And I never want us to reach that place. I want to know what hurts you, even if hearing it breaks me for a moment. I want to know what disappoints you, what frustrates you, what makes you feel unseen. Because if your heart is hurting, I don't want comfort from ignorance. I want truth. Even painful truth is still intimacy when shared honestly between two people who love each other. You know what I miss the most? The feeling that we could tell each other anything without fear. I miss emotional safety. I miss the softness we once carried naturally between us. I miss looking at you without sensing hesitation hiding behind your eyes. I miss feeling chosen without uncertainty standing beside that feeling. Maybe love changes over time. Maybe relationships lose some innocence after reality enters them. But I still believe real love survives through honesty, patience, and emotional courage. Not perfection. Never perfection. Just two imperfect people, continuing to choose understanding instead of pride. And maybe pride has been hurting us more than we realize. Pride teaches people to stay quiet when they should speak. It convinces them to act cold when they actually want reassurance. It tells them vulnerability is weakness, when vulnerability is the only reason intimacy exists at all. Without vulnerability, love becomes performance. Two people acting okay while slowly drifting further apart emotionally. I don't want performance with you. I want reality. I want conversations that are messy but honest. I want emotions that are raw but true. I want the kind of love where both people feel safe enough to admit fear, disappointment, jealousy, confusion, sadness, and hope without worrying they'll be punished for being human, because we are human. We are not perfect lovers inside some flawless story. We are two souls carrying wounds, fears, past disappointments, insecurities, and dreams while trying to build something meaningful together in a world that constantly exhausts people emotionally. And honestly, sometimes I think love becomes strongest exactly there. Not in perfection, but in the willingness to stay emotionally open despite how terrifying it can be. I know there are moments when I overthink your silence. Moments when one distant message from you can change the entire mood of my day. That's how deeply connected I feel to you. Your energy affects me in ways I cannot control. When you feel close, life feels lighter. When you feel distant, even beautiful things lose their color a little. Maybe that sounds dramatic. Maybe it sounds foolish. But love has always been a little irrational. When someone truly matters to you, their emotional presence begins shaping your inner world without permission. And you shaped mine, in more ways than you probably realize. You became part of my routines, my thoughts, my hopes for the future. I started imagining life with your existence naturally included in it. That's why the possibility of emotional distance between us feels so painful now. It's not just fear of losing a relationship. It's fear of losing a person who became emotionally intertwined with my entire existence. Sometimes I wish I could open my heart completely and let you see every thought I struggle to say out loud. Because words often fail people when emotions become too deep. There are feelings that don't fit perfectly into language. Feelings that sit quietly in the chest, impossible to fully explain. Like the fear of watching someone you love slowly become emotionally unreachable. Like the ache of sensing sadness inside the person